feel like right there. Oh my goodness.
Not too bad.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why do you take -1? I know I did something wrong. I just.
Oh, I forgot I needed a new marker. Let's see if this works. Okay.
It works.
If you divide something and you get, so if you do this, you get 0.7. You don't say that's 0.7%, right? You either have it as a decimal or you change it to a percentage. So if you get 0.05, that is what percent? 5%, once, twice. So when you give me the answer, don't say 0.05% unless it really is 0.05%. If you get a decimal 0.05, you got to change it to a percentage. So be careful, either decimal or percent. Cool. Any other questions from the quiz or from?
Sorry. For the little table thing, I had a hard time with the fraction part, trying to find what the fractions were from the decimal and percents.
Which one now?
Number 3.
3.
The table?
Specifically what?
So 0.04 decimal and 4%, what would the fraction be?
What place is that in right there? Tenths, hundreds. So from here it would be 400s. And of course, what does this percent symbol mean? Per 100.
100 ratio.
Right? Percent means per 100. So if you have it written as a percentage, that normally kicks ass. Now last time, is everybody cool with that? You got to know your decimal places. So you can always take it from decimal to fraction directly. Percentages, though, you can take those over. Well, the one time you got to worry about it, though, is if you get like 6.1%. If you say 6.1 over 100, that's not right. Fractions are officially ratios of whole numbers. 6.1 ain't no whole number, right?
So then how would you express 6.1 in a...
If I move this over once, so it's 61 over 1,000. And watch this. What would this be as a decimal?
2 over.
Tenths, hundreds, thousands. See? Matches up both ways.
I love
Yeah, because I was thinking about making the fraction be out of something smaller than 100.
Oh,
And that would have been a lot harder.
yeah.
How would you do that?
How do you mean? I'm not.
You would have to
Like if you had 0.03%, 0.03 over 100. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
But then you just have to move this over twice, so you put 2 more zeros. However many times you got to move the decimal and make it whole, you add that many zeros on the bottom. Because whatever you do to the top, you've got to do to the bottom. Yeah.
So if it was 0.56, would it be the 100 still? 'Cause it's
thousands.
for the thousands.
No, careful now. 0.56, what place is that? Tenths? Hundreds.
Hundreds.
So that would be 56
Hundreds.
hundredths.
Hundreds.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Anything else from the quiz or homework? Oh, 1B.
Yes.
So you have the one that says H or Q.
H or Q.
Yeah.
Negation Q.
So what does that mean by itself? Either H happened or Q happened.
Yes.
And then what do I tell you in the next line?
Negation Q.
What did I say in the next line? Oh, negation, yeah. H didn't happen.
No, negation Q.
Oh, Q, I'm sorry. Q didn't happen.
Okay.
So then what must have happened?
Therefore, H happened.
For H
H
must have
happened.
happened. There's a freebie,
Yes.
right? That's one of the nicest ones. This first line says H or Q.
Negation Q.
Period. H or Q.
Okay.
Not Q, therefore it's got to be H, right?
And if it's not H, then it's got to be Q.
Yeah, but if it's not H, then it's got to be Q. Or if it's you got a G there, I mean, it doesn't matter what the letters are there now. You guys see how the form works. So I could say S or T, not T, therefore S. Doesn't depend on the letters, it depends on the form.
And that one's a valid argument?
Yeah, I've forced it to be valid by putting that correct conclusion down. Cool.
So now, had the negative sign not been there, then it would be a fallacy?
It would be, now that would be, if I had this, if I had this here instead, is there a conclusion I can make?
It could be either.
Does H have to happen, or does H have to
No.
not happen?
Doesn't
Either
matter.
one. So there's no a real conclusion I can come to. And the only conclusion I can come to is H or not H, which is kind of lame, really. Well, what do you think? I think it happened, or maybe it didn't. Oh, you're a lot of help, right? But it's not my fault. With the information I'm given, I don't know. Whereas this one, H or Q? Q, no. H, yes. I mean, that's a definite, I know exactly, right? So two people in a room, somebody's dead. Okay, either you did it or you did it. It wasn't you, so you know. I mean, that's the idea. Yeah.
For number 2, did we already go over this?
Number 2, everybody had either
S,
one of two fallacies.
S if then
So the correct answer in that
C.
one is not valid. And I love the fact that some of you guys, oops. So one of them was this. And I love the fact that some of you guys brought back what we did in class. If you get an A, then you'll get a card. If I see you with a card, does that mean you got an A?
No.
Because if you didn't get an A, I could do whatever I want to, right? And somebody pretty much wrote exactly that. I'm like, sweet, that's exactly how you analyze something like this. If you haven't memorized the forms, just plug in values and see if it works.
Couldn't you argue that for this given scenario, P then Q?
Good.
If not Q, then it's not P because they tell you that P.
I love it. If I said P then Q, not Q, therefore P, I mean not P, right? If that's what it is, then that's valid. But is that what it is? So on some people I put this here,
Good.
not P, therefore not Q. And I can't say a damn thing about that. All the first line sets up is what happens if P happens. Then Q has to happen, right? It doesn't say a word about what if not P happens. Anything can happen then. That's really what we just said over there.
So
If you get an A, then I'll buy you a car. You didn't get an A. Do you necessarily, are you not going to get the car?
So it's basically saying that this is one factor that produces Q. Because there's other factors that can produce Q as well.
Of course, like I keep saying, if I go 30 miles through a desert, then I'll be thirsty. Right? I'm actually thirsty right now. Is it because I went 30 miles through a desert necessarily? There's a lot of things that can make me arrive at being thirsty, yeah. So really, the best way to look at an if-then is it sets up what happens when this happens. If anything else happens, I'm not really sure. The only thing I can say is if not Q. If Q doesn't happen, that must mean that P didn't happen. Because if P happens, Q must happen. That's the only other thing I could possibly say. Yeah.
I have more questions.
Cool.
5.7, I didn't get 24 or 33.
30,
It's page
34,
24.
24. So 5.7. That's about the same. All right. Oh God, every single marker I have sucks. 24 is 1, 3, 5, 7, and they're asking you for AN. What type of sequence is that? Arithmetic, right? I love saying that word. Sounds like Aramaic. Arithmetic.
So multiplication.
So what's the formula for arithmetic sequence? Term.
AN equals A.
No, it's not geometric. It's not multiplying. So there's no R's in it. Yeah.
Plus N minus 1 times
And just to remind you guys, next time is review day, and that's when we'll cover what can be on your formula sheet. This can definitely be on your formula sheet, right? So what do we know from this sequence?
A1 is 1.
Okay, A1's 1. Now what's D?
Is 2 plus 2.
Yeah, D is 2 because I keep adding 2. And then I can just throw it in there. Because they don't tell me what N is. They just want an expression for whatever N I want. So I just throw in the things I know. Starts at 1, goes up by so many steps of 2. And then if they then ask me the next part, they might ask me what's 8 8. I could just plug an 8 in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now I've set up a function based on n, how far I want to go into the sequence. So if I want A8, I want to go 8 into the sequence. Throw an 8 in there. Cool.
So,
Yeah.
let's say that you do want to know the 8th term, so do you do 1 plus, and then parentheses 8 minus 1?
Times
multiplied
2.
by 2?
I love it. So
So
1
it's 7
plus
times 2,
7
14.
times 2. 14 plus 1.
15.
15. That would be the 8th term. Yep. Yep.
5.7 you do 2?
Oh, wait, didn't you have, who asked about 24? Didn't you have a second part to it?
Oh, yeah, 33.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's the same thing, isn't it? They take this same sequence, and the thing that the book does that I'm not going to be so nice about is the book will tell you, was it 33? The book will tell you what that last term is. Right? They'll tell you that. Whereas me, what I will do is make you do it in steps. So I'll have you calculate the last term, and they'll ask you to find the sum up to that term. So you have to use what you did in the first part in the formula for the second part. So they ask you for the sum here. So who remembers the sum formula for arithmetic sequence? Remember the idea?
Yeah.
Good. You got so many pairs of numbers. So as I step in, 1 plus 99 is,
100.
3 plus 97 is, and then you step in, right? So the whole idea behind it is I pair up numbers, and they all are the same thing as the first one plus the last one. The biggest mistake people make is they want S what now?
50.
50. The biggest mistake I always see is somebody does this here. What did somebody do wrong?
It's not,
It's 49.
it's
No.
99.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
99.
supposed to be 99.
What's supposed to be here?
The last.
The last term, not the number of terms. The last term, which is 99.
I got confused there. I had it, I did the actual, the first one, and I still got 99 and had it in the book. I'm like, oh, that, I just wasted
Okay.
10 minutes of my life.
All right, so let's see. And then how do you finish that out? So it'll be 50 divided by 2 is 25 times 100, so 2,500.
Can you cross multiply on that?
No. 50 divided by 2 is 25. 50 divided by 2 is 25 times 100. 2,500.
So,
50 divided by 2 is 25.
okay, explain to me where you got the 50 again.
How many terms are there?
With after you pair 50 terms.
50 terms. And so the function needs n, which is how many terms there are here.
Well, n is what you're trying to figure out. N is 50.
Well, n's not what we're trying to figure out then. We know it's 50. So if I go out 50 terms, what goes here? The number of
50.
terms, which is 50. Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Is that formula in the book?
Yes.
Because it shows that you divide everything by 2. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like this better. Why? Because these are pairing them up, and this is the sum that gets repeated. But all right. But what is n over 2 times a1 plus an? What's on the bottom of this one? 1, right? Understood 1 down there. So when you multiply, don't you get n times this? Over 2 times 1 is 2.
So
They're the same thing, right? It's just saying divide by 2 at some point, right? I like this setup better because it goes along with the idea better. Pair them up, that's why I divide by 2, and each pair has this sum. So that's the idea. Cool. But they write it like this, which is still valid mathematically, but it's the same thing. Okay. All right, cool.
I don't mean to get off track, but is there like a multiplication formula?
Of course, yes. If I have a sequence that's built on multiplication, like if this was 1, 3, 9, 27, now I'm multiplying by 3.